All right, so that we can cover more ground as fast as possible, we have to start right away. Um, Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Samson Akinwale. Uh, I've been in charge of this Discovery for People Managers series. It's as good as calling it Discovery for Business People series, or whatever you are managing, either managing people or managing in one capacity or the other, or aspiring to be a manager at some point. So you cannot do without the instrumentality of data, and data has been rightly reputed as one of the most important commodity in this age and time. Not even one of the most important commodities, about a very, very important commodity likened to the importance of oil just in the previous century. And we all know how much relevant oil was for those industrial age and even probably up till now. And we can envisage the kind of incremental impact and relevance data we command. So it is no brainer to tell anyone that you've got to be very, very serious with the business of data. Inability to get serious with data is as good as trying to throw some very important thing in the future to chance, and that will not be the best of thing. So we'll go into that much later, and the section has been a digital capability sharpening series, which is underpinned by workforce analytics adoption framework. And this has been so helpful in this age and time, especially in the last close to 5, 6 months that we've started before we actually delved into this particular robust curriculum that we are doing. A number of ground has been covered, and we've been trying as much as possible to break down the workforce analytics adoption tool, which is very key for every business. So, what we discussed prior to going into the technical tools and trying to help as many people as possible to handle those two was the fact that many organizations are truly investing in data analytics and some business intelligence tools. But as much as those investments were, they are not comparable to the rate at which insight is derived. So there is a gap somewhere. So there is data abundance, but there is insight scarcity. So it's a paradox. The reason you invest so much in data tools or infrastructure is to be able to extract as much insight as possible and let those insights bear positively well on the decision making process of the organization, such that there will be impact at the bottom on the bottom line, and expansion will grow thereby. But we have noticed that the degree of those investment is not commensurate with the rate at which analytics principles are adopted when it comes to proper decision making. So there is a gap somewhere. So it is one thing to invest in data infrastructure, it's another thing to ensure that people that will use the systems have bought into it very well and they have internalized the processes. And that's exactly what uh, workforce analytics adoption framework is trying to point us to. So there is a gap. There is now a workforce absorption, analytics absorption gap somewhere. And that is the gap we are trying to fill now. We want to bridge that gap. The gap is the fact that leaders and employees need to be encouraged to familiarize themselves with the usefulness of data. So when they see dashboard, they do not just watch or look at the dashboard. They interact with the dashboard and ask useful questions. And they are not even scared with what the dashboard is saying. That's exactly what we have here on this platform called Workforce Analytics Adoption Framework. It's just to show us a very important framework that will not just make you adopt analytics in your organization, but it will also help all employees to internalize that analytics that is newly imported into the organization. That is where the whole impact will be seen one step at a time. So I'll be sharing the link with this. You can pick the link right on the chat box on this call, and it will land you on this page. Then you can also go ahead to read up and see what the whole process we've been working on is. So it's not been anything uh, small all along. And when you get on that page, you also see the Workforce Analytics Adoption Framework 2. By the time you click on this particular button and pressing on, it will allow you to download that file. And the file that you will eventually download is this. I've downloaded it. So these are the tools, or these are the points you should harm yourself with. You can even go as far as making sure you learn them by heart. So when you are faced with any data or data discussion or dashboard, you know what to do. If it is a dashboard, okay, how do I contribute in this dashboard discussion? What are the things that should come into your mind? I've listed them right here, and that's why I call it Workforce Analytics Adoption Toolkit that you can harm yourself with, and you can have it downloaded on your phone anywhere, so that when you are dealing with data related tasks or information or discussion, you know what kind of questions you need to put to the table, and you can add on to it as time goes on. But this can help jumpstart you and make you get well sharpened and compliant with what data is saying. Data has come to stay, and another new thing that is sweeping the whole global business space is artificial intelligence. Guess what? The food of artificial intelligence, what AI feeds on, is what? Is not rice, it's not bread, it's not burger, it's not those things you think. It is nothing but data. So if AI feeds on data, then those who have manipulative skills over data are at a vantage position to use AI very well. And that is not just the future, it is the current situation we find ourselves, and it will run into the future. So the earlier everyone get on this and start taking advantage of it, the better. So I just thought of bringing that to our knowledge again as by way of reminder while we move ahead to today's session dealing with the capability, strengthening our capability, which is this interpretation capability. Yeah, distinguishing correlation from causation and all that. So just a moment, I move to our curriculum, and here we are. So don't forget also, um, let me share my screen. Yep. So do not also forget that when we started, we pointed out this journey and the steps that are involved in the journey. Module 1 is the foundation module, which we've covered. The module 2 is telling us how we are going to get data from different sources, gathering the data and investigation and all that. Module 3 is what we are currently on, which we are going to round off today, unfailingly. And we also move to module 4 today if we still have little time. Then after module 4, we've already planned we are going to have analyzing data using statistics. So now we are moving away from Excel to statistics, and that will now usher in the bigger tool or a bigger analytic tool called SQL. And after that, on module 6, we get to module 7, which will build more on the SQL itself. Then module 8, we get into Tableau, which is a specialized data visualization tool. Then after that, we move to some very, very important ethics and governance issue in data, which is very, very critical, especially in the coming of AI taking over everything. There is need for more governance and ethics issue to be settled by all people relating and working with data. Then after that, we go into the capstone project and what each person is expected to be doing. So without much ado, we go straight to where we stop in the last class. Where is that now? Okay. Yep, I think here. So as at the last class, we had this to deal with finding duplicates, which we did. I'm sure then we also fixed and removing duplicate. We can watch the recording is already shared on the YouTube channel. Then we also did finding empty cells by using those blank tools on conditional formatting. And I'm sure we use deep color green to identify those empty cells. Then today, we are going to deal with, um, we also did data passing, and those data passing were when I split into extra columns, a single column that contains more than one element in it. And for the sake of analysis, if you have more than one item in a single column, it will be pretty difficult for any analytical tool to extract that column. So the rule of thumb is to break down the items in that column into extra column. And the starting point is to first create a breathing space on your right. Say for instance, I have this column M. It was formerly containing column N and O together. This color column you are seeing, it was merged to this column M, and this size column you are seeing, it was previously merged to column M. So we split it into this N and O when we discovered they were merged together, and that was how we were able to break it into three different pieces, which is now making it easier for any tool to analyze. So today we are going into uh, that's data passing. Data passing is breaking a chunk into small pieces. So we are done with that. So step 5 is talking about removing extra spaces. So let's go. How do we remove extra spaces? Where do we have extra spaces? So as somebody dealing with data, you can just look through and figure out where likely can there be extra spaces, which of the columns. Okay, let's check column high containing country details. So for column high, I can see a few things not aligning. If you see number one, which is high two, I2 is having United States, all looks fine. Yep, all looks fine in that high two. If you look at another cell containing United States, like high four, you will see that there appears to be a little space before the starting letter U in high 4 compared to how U is written in I2. So those are the kind of spaces we want to look out for. Sometimes it will be at the beginning of the first letter of the first word. Sometimes it will be extra space in between two words. For instance, this United and States is expected to have just only one space. When you are typing, you just press your space bar once and only a single space is expected to be there. But for some reasons, why some clerks are imputing data, they may mistakenly press space bar twice, and that's double space will act as a character and get entrenched in the data and just get uploaded. But it is the duty of anybody now working on data to first look at all of those things and ensure they are cleaned and removed, because it will skew or affect your analysis if they are not figured out. Now, I've figured out some things like that in this column. How do we deal with it? Number one, let's first, if you want to deal with things like that, you create a working space to your right. It's good to create it to the right than to the left. You can do it either way. I can do it to the left here such that I have the space here on the left of country but it's always good to put it on the right. So I can undo that, then come to the right. I just come here, select it, do Control plus, Control Shift plus. So I have a space right here. Now, what am I going to do? I want to first see to confirm truly if I have spaces in some unwanted places along different aspects of these entries in the column called country. So how do I do that? Quickly, I introduce two functions in Excel. I'll go here and say, okay, let me even know what is the number of characters. By the number of characters in each cells that are expected to contain the same entries, that can show to me whether there is unwanted space or not, because I have a lot of the cells having same entry as United States. So if I drill down to see, okay, what is the number of character inside each of them? Are they the same? If they are the same, then that will point to me that there is no space or any unwanted character somewhere, but I cannot figure that manually. It is not going to be accurate. I need to use Excel calculation. So I go ahead and do equal to, I want to know what is the length of characters in this cell height to. I just say equal to, I want to know the length. The formula for that or the function for that is to just use len. It's a short form of length and it is a code in Excel. So equal to len, I bring in this. I want to know how many characters is making the word in this I2. I can just type my I2 straight away like this. It will pick that cell, or instead of typing that, I can just click on it. Pim, it will pick it. I close the bracket and press enter. It's telling me there are 13 characters. As you can see, there are 13 characters in this cell height. If I drag this down, we call it flash filling. I just flash fill it. If I flash fill it, it will flash fill down to the end of these data sets. But I just want a few of them. I don't necessarily want all. So if I double click, it flash fills down, but I don't want that. I undo. So what I need is I just want a few, let's say from I2 down to, where is it? I7, okay, let's do I8. Yes, I can drag it to I8. Fine. Can you now see the very first one is showing to me that United States has 13 characters in high 2. Look at high 4, same United States. That formula is telling me that, guy, there are 14 characters here. Look at another place that United States is rating. It's also showing that there are 14 characters. And see another place that I have United States, also 14 characters. So that shows clearly that there are some unwanted gaps or spaces in this column high. So how do I deal with that further? I can create another column on the right side here, and I go ahead to say, okay, if that is the case, I can do for this very first one, United States, it appears to be correct. United Kingdom appears to be correct. Okay, I can do for this cell, and that is K4. So for K4, don't forget on column J, I was using length. So let's use our length. I can label that length. It's giving me the length of the character or the total number of characters that makes each word in column high. So for column K, I can do, okay, in this column K, I want to trim. Column J has shown to me that there is problem with the way entries are written in column high by giving me this different number for the same entry. So it means that something unwanted has been added to what was written. So in column K now, I want to trim it, meaning that I want to correct that error that I have confirmed exists in column high by what I did in column J. Then in column K, I want to correct that error. Okay, what do I do? Where I obviously find the error number one, I can notice that in I4, the way, can you see the way United States is written here shows that there is a space right from the beginning compared to the way United States is written in I2. So I want to deal with that issue in I4. So I come to K4 and I say, okay, Mr. K4, let's do the trimming. So I just say trim. It's in caps lock. You can be in any case, either uppercase or whatever. So trim that guy for me. So I can write I4 straight away and close my brackets. It will do the work straight. Can you see now that the way it is now written here in K, there is no space any longer before this letter U in K4 compared to what it is looking like in I4. So K4 is now correcting the issue at I4. So I can go ahead and copy that and say, okay, where else do I have United States? I have it in I6 again. I copy and paste it there. It's correcting it for me. I go again, I can paste it in I8. I also have United States there. It copies and pastes. So I'm sure now that these three things I've copied here has corrected their corresponding entries in I4, I6, I8. But what I want to do is to correct all the spaces in this entire column. So I can go ahead and I say, okay, that's fine. I still copy what I have here. I put it in K2 so that you can correct I2, which is fine. I can flash fill K2 to K3. It has done that. I can come here to and flash fill K4 to K5, it has also done that. I can come here to flash fill K6 to K7, it has also done that. Then I can come to the K8 and just flash fill down. It takes it down to the last one, which is K89 or 89 or 90. So everything on K now, as you can see, has been correctly amended in terms of space. If you check, in K, in I4, the space is right at the beginning of the first word, united, before. If you check I6, the space, the unwanted space is in between united and state, which is in the middle. If you go to I8, the space we are talking about, the unwanted space, is at the end. So the space can be distributed just anywhere, beginning, middle, back, forth, and all that. But with that formula, either it is at the beginning or at the end or is in the middle, the formula understand what is to do. There must not be space at the beginning, there must not be more than one space in the middle, and there must not be space at all at the end. So it will trim it off. That's what the function of trim does. And that's why I label this column trim. So having done that, I want to now uh, pick the answers that I have in this column K. I want to put it back to the right column, which is column high. So because I just use this column J and K as a rough workspace to do my calculation and to do my correction, then I need to put it back into the correct column. So what do? I need to copy the answer in this K and paste it right here in high. So how do I copy that? Control Shift arrow down, copy the entire entries in column K. I go ahead and do Control C to copy. I have copied everything. Sorry. Why is this one not copying entirely for me? I don't need any space in the middle. So, okay. So placing it at the beginning, you can just do Control Shift arrow down. Yep. So with that Control Shift arrow down, everything is highlighted. Then I copy that entire entry. Yeah, this is what I want to say. I don't want any breakage in between. Good. So I have everything copied now. You remember as we used to do, then you come to the um, right column, you want to paste it. You also do Control Shift arrow down to highlight everything there. Then right click and paste value. Don't paste the formula. Don't forget from column K, we have formula all there. And that's what enables us to do the correction. So I copied now in my clipboard. I have formula already copied, but in the destination, I can choose to either paste the formula I have copied or just paste the value. So I really don't need that formula. I just need the value. I want all of them to appear good and neat. So I'll pick paste value in the options of pasting here, and everything will land in column high, which has been done now. Can you notice something? Do you know that previously, before I copy from K to high, the number of characters for I4 was previously what? 14. Can you see now it is now 13 in alignment with the number of characters for I2, and it is also 13 for every other places that United States is appearing. That is to show that everything is now correct based on that solution I just did. And having done that, I can just expunge these. I can make both of them together and just expunge them. I don't need them again. That's all. I have dealt with the space issue in this column high by just those two few steps I have taken. So um, that is how to remove spaces or remove blank spaces or remove extra spaces. So that is gone. Let's move to the next one. Next one is to how to change case. How do we change case? And what do we mean by case in this sense? Let me just undo what we did before. Undo, 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 undo. So I still have the raw data. Yep. Okay. So I still have it like that. So next one is how do we change case? Okay, case is to turn uppercase to lowercase, or you turn lowercase to uppercase. So you can equally do that. Just create extra space to your right. I can choose to say, okay, I don't want column high to have uh, a combination of uppercase and lowercase. I just want all of them to be uppercase. Just do your equal to, use this function, then open your brackets. You can put I2 so that you can pick it that way. Close your bracket and press enter. Everything turns into uppercase. Then by the time you flash fill this down, straight away you have all of them in uppercase. And you can do the other way around by just changing this upper to lower. So it means you want lowercase. That has been done. Then you can flash fill it down also. All of them turn to lowercase. Um, in the same way, you can say you want it to be uh, proper. So I can use proper. So proper is to make it look like the proper way words appear in sentence. Only the first letter of the first word is in uppercase, and any other word in between the sentence that are proper nouns are the ones that are also expected to be to have their first letter in capital letter or in uppercase. So you say equals to proper I2, it takes that. Then, like this one that is now appearing lowercase as the first letter of United and lowercase as the first letter of Kingdom, the moment I flash fill, it will change this first letter in the first word to uppercase, and also change this first letter in the second word to uppercase, because it will appropriate the principle of uh, proper sentence, and the rule is only the first letter of the first word takes capital letter and all that. So let's do that. Don't go beyond that. So give me as proper. Can you see? It changes that down to the end. So that is for changing of case. Then how do you highlight possible errors? if there are errors, or you want to just pick it up and see how many errors are in a particular cell or in a particular row. So let's see. Let's figure it out and just check around. Do we have some errors? For instance, I can say okay. Let me highlight my data. Control A, conditional formatting, highlight cells, any cells that you see that is equal to 0. Can you show me what that cell is? Format cells that are equals to, let me put 0 here. So can you see it's already highlighting all of them so that I can easily run through them and identify where the issue could be. So I've already given the command. It's also highlighting blank spaces, but I actually, so it's seeing blank spaces as 0, no problem. But more important thing is this. So for the zeros, I just look at here, okay, a unit cost cannot be 0, right? And um, I know that something is wrong somewhere for this to be appearing as 0. So it will help me to look around the data. Maybe something was mistakenly written by the person imputing the data. For instance, the the product in question here is this mountain bags, mountain 200 black, and the size is 46. So, and it is 2. So I can just look around the data and see mountain 200 black and see 46 size too. And this one is now 4. So what I need to do is to divide this unit cost here by 4 to know the cost for one and now multiply it by 2 so that I will now get the value I will put right here where this 0 is. And the moment I put this 0, I put the right figure on this 0, it will automatically change this final one on this right. That is sorted. So another one is, okay, the unit price for what product now? Mountain 400W. So, and the size is 42. So I need to look for similar thing. Mountain 400W. And this one is silver, so I need silver. Mountain 400W silver. Okay, size is 42. Okay. And the quantity is 1. Yeah. So the one is 420. And here the unit price is 769. So I will just pick 769 here. Automatically, I will put it here. So I'm sure the 0 here at revenue will also automatically change away from 0. So that is how to look around for uh, zeros and make sure you figure out the right value that is supposed to be there. It happens sometimes because most of those things are sometimes imputed manually, but this is how to quickly figure out how many places do I have the 0 by using this the conditional formatting method. So it allows them to you. Then just check around. Okay, why would this place be 0? It's not possible. Let me see similar product. What was the price in high two so I can borrow the exact that exact figure or value from there and put it in this particular place. So that settles that. Okay, so next thing, what do we pick? So changing case, highlighting error, then find and replace. So how do we find and replace? For instance, you can use a number of processes to do find and replace. You can use Control F to do finding, and you can do Control H to do find and replace. So what you need to figure out is to first identify which columns has entries that are same, but they are written in two or more different ways. Most of the time, I know for sure that it is a column that has gender, that has something like that. For instance, you can see gender here. This is customer gender. And for this customer gender column, I can see health, I can see him, and all that. So for proper alignment, it is always good to uh, rename them in full and just make sure the entries are similar. I mean, are similar or uniform across the entire column. So I can come here and just say, okay, let me select the entire data, and you do Control H, and in doing Control H, you need to be careful here. I can just go ahead and select just the column itself, which is column H, and Control H, and I say go ahead and find anywhere you see have. You can go ahead and replace it with female written this way, and you don't need to do any formatting for me. I can say first find all for me. Let me see how many you find. You can see what it has brought out. It's showing me how many it has found, and that is 50 cells are found with that particular criteria I have specified. Okay, I'll tell it to go ahead and replace all of them with the rule I just set up here, which is wherever you see have in this highlighted column, change that have to female. So replace all, you see all female immediately, turning all F turning into female. So I can equally go ahead and do for male, saying that look for M and turn all singular M into full word this way, which is male. So match case that I've specified on this highlighted column, go ahead and do the finding for me. Let me know what you are seeing or is going beyond what I want it to do. So I need to specify the column. So hold on, pick it this way. Don't match the entire cell content. Just match this case for me. Do this, find, yep, then replace all, and that is it. So it will get all the male sorted, all the M sorted into male as we have seen. Okay, next is, what's the time? Okay, little time more. Next is spell check. If you want to see in the entire data set, I need to be sure some spellings are correct and there is no spelling error. Because it's a data set, there are some columns that have text as their content, and there are some columns that have numbers as their content. So you are not spell checking numbers. It is the text containing columns that we want to spell check. And in doing that, you have to specify which columns, especially you want the system to go ahead and check. So you need to go ahead and select column A is numbers, B is numbers, C, D, do I want to spell check D? Okay, yeah, it contains just text. I pick it. Move to G is both text and numbers. No. Okay, I don't need for age. Okay, I can do for I. Yes, it has text. I can do for J. It has text. I can do for K. It has text. Then this one L alone, I think it's only text. Yes, I can do for that. I can't do M. It contains both text and number. Okay, I can do for N. It's only text. Then the rest are numbers. So I've selected all the ones I want that contains only text. Yep. Then I go to my ribbon and bring review. You select review on the ribbon. So you have access to these sub menu tools. So what we want to do is to spell check. So you pick spelling and it will give you a dialog box this way. So on the dialog box, it will start asking you one after the other. We have seen an error in a particular word. Do you want to change it? Do you want to ignore it? Do you want to leave it? So, for instance, it has brought one for me on column D, and it has highlighted that this D19, the word is not correctly written, and that is December. There is something missing here. So it has highlighted it here for me. It's giving me the word. It is written here this way, and it's giving me suggestion on the correct way of writing it. So all I need to do is to accept that change. So I just say, okay, yeah, thank you for identifying that. I can tell it, change it for me. I agree. Immediately it's giving me another one that okay, there is another thing written as product underscore category. There is nothing grammatical about group product underscore category. So it's telling me a better way of writing it, which is product category, but I don't need anything fancy. That's how to label column title in data analytics. So I'll just tell it, okay, thank you for pointing it out. Just ignore that one. It will go ahead and bring another one. I just say ignore. I understand that is a column header. I want it that way. I want it to be as sub underscore category. So just ignore. So it will keep giving me all of them like that. See, it picks color too. That color should not be written this way. Color should be written this way. So one is American style. The other one is British style. Just ignore. That one is immaterial. So it will keep giving you until you get to the end. And when you get to the end this way, to tell you that, okay, spell check is complete, you're good to go. Then you press OK. So you now know that, okay, everything written in your data set are well written and the spellings are fine and correct. Okay, that's for spell checking. Then to remove formatting, which is the last one there. So how do we remove formatting? For instance, if I have any column that has a default formatting style, and I probably do not like that kind of formatting style, well, I can remove it. And all I need to do is just to highlight such. For instance, I can say column D, because text generally in Excel are always left aligned. It is numbers that are right aligned. If you can see this now, let me show you on the home button. You will see what is highlighting there. If I click on this, if I click on this is right aligned, and this one is left aligned. But the one I want to, and they are proper because texts are always left aligned and numbers are always right aligned. I can choose to move them either way. So I've clicked this one. I can say, okay, I don't want it to be left aligned. I want it to be middle aligned. Just click this, it goes to middle. I click this one, it goes to the far left as if it is text. You're right, it's not text. But you should be careful in doing that in Excel because Excel default programming configuration put numbers automatically on the right. So when you're putting it on the left, you have to be careful so that Excel will not be seeing it as text. So when there is time for calculation, Excel will now see this number as if it is text, then it won't do the calculation because it cannot do calculation with text or letters. It is only with numbers that Excel can go ahead and do calculation. So I can undo this just to show you how you can move things around for formatting sake. Then for column G, if you see, the entries in column G appears to be middle aligned, so I can choose to remove this formatting style in column G. So how do I do that? I can say, okay, I've highlighted it, then I can come here. Yes, these two. Yes, I want to clear the formatting because it is highlighted. I mean, it is formatted middle here. I want to clear the formatting. I can just click this guy. You can see it gives me a drop down and I can say clear format. Just watch that column G. As soon as I click on clear format, you will see what will happen to column G. Yes, it goes to default. The default is that texts are left aligned by default in Excel unless you choose to move it the other way around that the owner pleases. So the owner initially was pleased to make it middle here, and that formatting is already staying with that column. But now I'm clearing that formatting style. So the moment I clear it, that or those entries, we assume their default position, which is left alignment, and that's what just happened. So that is how to deal with formatting. Whatever column that has formatting, you can clear the formatting or undo the formatting by just coming to this place. In some Microsoft Excel files, the formatting may be kept somewhere else, but you will always see it under editing. In my own, it uses small icons or symbols to denote those things, but in some versions, it may write them out as format. So you just click the same arrow and see all the different example of formatting that you can possibly carry out. Okay, so I think that now takes us to the end of module 3, and we need to get to module 4. Yes. Any question before we go to module 4? Just few more minutes. Let's see if we can still take a few things in module 4. Right. So in module 4, we are starting right away with sorting, filtering data in Excel. And sorting generally uh, is an attempt to rearrange a set of data in probably the normal way it should be. It's either you want to sort from beginning to end, which is called ascending order, or you want to sort from end to beginning, which is called descending order. So the ascending order, which is beginning to end, sometimes can be represented by A to Z, and the descending order, which is from end to beginning, can be represented by Z to A. So that is sorting. You can just choose to sort based on what you want to view on your data set. For some reasons, the data come in different arrangement depending on how the entries were made. And they will not necessarily follow maybe alphabetical order or a particular order. They will just be there following the date they were imputed. But for analysis sake, you can choose to say, okay, I want to sort. I just want to say, okay, from so-so period to so-so period, arrange the entries in ascending order. So I want to see all the A's come forth. I can quickly at a glance see how many A's are there, how many B's are there, and all that. So that is sorting, and it makes your data look well aligned, and you can easily reason around how any trend is moving or whatever trend is being shown. But for filtering helps you um, to sieve. It's more like you are sieving. You want to downplay some of the entries that you do not need. You want them to go to the background, while you only want the entries you need to be at the forefront. That is what we use filter for. You filter for a particular thing you want to see now. Granted, the data set can contain 10 things, but the 10 things, okay, I just want to see the first three. So you filter and remove the other 7 so that you can see those 3 you want to see more clearly. That's what we use filtering tool for. So for instance, we can demonstrate that on this. I can pick this to highlight the entire worksheet. Then I want to see all the entries in each of them. I can say this should go here. Okay, I just pick the first one, Control Shift to the end, pull this, then select the entire stuff. I want to see all of the columns and their contents clear enough. So in between the first 2 columns, or any 2 columns for that matter, I can just press this way such that it spaces them out completely and they are all evenly spaced. I mean, they are spaced according to the size of the content in them. So at least all the content in each of them are now clearly seen. So that's what I wanted to achieve. So the next thing is to now say, okay, how do I, if I want to sort, is this sorting I want to do? I can equally say, okay, my cursor can be anywhere. I can control A to select the data set alone, or I can go ahead and still press this triangle to select the entire worksheet. Then all I do is to pick on data, then pick on sort. So in this sort, it will give me a dialog box this way, as you have seen. What do I need to do? I need to now specify what it is to sort for me. Let's say I want to sort the country column, which is column H. Then I can say, okay, sort what column? Sort by country column. I look for country column where in this drop down country, where are you? Yep, I picked that. Yes, the values in country column is what I want you to sort. Okay, in what order do I want it to sort it? So it's giving me the example. So some other version of Excel can use ascending or descending, but like I said, ascending means A to Z and descending means Z to A. So okay, I want ascending, I pick that. And if that is the only column I want to sort, so be it, I can click OK. But if I have additional column to sort, and you can actually sort by as many columns as you want based on what questions you have in your mind that you want this data to answer for you. So I can equally now go ahead and say, okay, beyond country column, I equally want to sort this data set with another column. And it could be, okay, let me choose column either J or K. I can choose column K. So if I want to do that, I don't need to do the sorting twice. I can do all of them on this same simple singular process. So I'll just pick add another level. This one here, you pick it, it's adding another level. So what is the next thing I want to sort? I want to sort by what column now? Subcategory, that's column K. Then I go ahead and look for subcategory here. I pick that. And yes, I want you to use cell values. And what do I want to do? I mean, sort by what order is the sorting? Is it end to beginning or beginning to end? Or do I have a custom stuff around? Okay, let me use a custom one because so I may not use subcategory. Let me come here and use which month, I mean, which column, month column. Yep, the values in there. I want you to sort it for me. If I say A to Z or Z to A, it may start anywhere in the middle, but let me use custom list. It gives me this one. Then I am clearly seeing that, okay, I can see January, February, so it's sorting right from January to December. So I pick that. That's fine for me. I say, okay. Then I say, okay, the moment I click OK, you see the data change in response to that sorting criteria I have just highlighted. Can you see? And now you can see all the data, especially in column H, which is the country column, now in ascending order or in alphabetical order. Australia, which is A, down to Canada and all that. Then the month column, I sorted it with from, I'm using January to December. You can see the very earliest one is what is speaking here, which is February down to um, December, and I think the next one is now the following year. That's why it's having those ones underneath there. So that is how to sort. Then for the next one, which is filtering, you can also filter, but before you filter, it's always good to turn your data set into a proper table. As it is now, it's just a CSV file, as you are seeing it, and it's a text file. But when you want to sort, it's always advisable to turn it into a proper table. How do you do that? You can just do Control A, then Control T. Yes, I agree that your table has header, is tick, then you can click OK. So the data becomes a proper table. Now that it becomes a proper table, it automatically comes with a filter. So each column comes with that filter this way. So I can filter based on whatever I want to see. Yeah, this one is having all of these adults, young adults, youths. If I want to remove any of them, I can remove, or I just filter using any of them. Or I can equally filter the country column. So I have United States, United Kingdom, Germany, France. Yeah. So I can say, okay, I don't want you to show me all of them. Just show me only for Canada. So I pick Canada alone and I click OK. So it will sort the entire data set, presenting to me alone the ones that fall, that has their country as Canada. So I've done away with other one. Not that they are deleted, they were just pushed to the background. And this one that I need to see now alone is pushed to the forefront. So I can now also say that, okay, I want Canada, yes, but I want only for 2014. So give me Canada just for 2014. I'll go to Canada, I'll go to year column and sort that to 2014, and it will further sort it for me. So see how I have been able to break down that entire big data set into just filter. I want just for Canada, and I want entries for 2014. In a very simple way, it has brought it out. So at a glance, I can see that in the whole of 2014, for Canada, it was only 6 entries. So I can view the sales, and I can do it equally for, I can choose to say, okay, Canada for 2014, and also in a particular month, just give me Canada 2014. The one, how many sales happen in June alone? It will do it if there is anyone. It's just showing me one. So you can use the sorting and filtering functionalities in Excel to do a whole lot to break your data into smaller chunks that communicate more direct and accurately to you, giving you what you need to see at a time, and you can do it for anything. And it's just a subset of how the pivot table functions, which we are going into by the next session. We see the pivot table is also for sorting, breaking down a very large data sets and all that, but this is just how it flows and just the beginning. So I can clear the formatting now because the filtering now. So I can just click on this one, click everything again, say okay. How do you know the column that is sorted? You see the funnel symbol on it. So you just easily go to them and select all so that that filter goes. Then look for another one. Okay, yeah, this one also have funnel icon, select all, then all the data comes back to the full size that it was before. So this is the filtering and what do I call it now? Filtering and
Sorting.
sorting. Yes. Yeah, so is there any question? This is exactly 60 minutes now. We are reaching the benchmark for the session. Any question before we call it a session today? Then we'll move up by next week. Question, or contribution or comments, please.
You were saying you shared some. I don't know, but I can't find anything you've shared.
Sorry.
Before we started, you talked about that you shared something on maybe the charts or something, but I can't find anything.
Oh, really? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah, this is what I shared. This link on the chat on this call now. This particular
Oh,
call. This
so how
particular
do I
Teams
see it?
on your Teams call. You are on the call, so just look for chat on
Yeah.
the tools. So you see chat. You click on
Yeah.
that chat, you see the content of people who have been making comments or messages on that chat. So I put a link there that can lead
I
you
can't
to
find any. I've
really
clicked on charts. It's empty.
today. Can somebody click on chat, please? Yeah, what about other cells that are not zeros but also not correct? Yes, if you figure out there are other cells that does not also correct, I mean that does also not contain the correct thing, you can you can search for them using the same process. If you have an idea of whatever numbers they have. But what is important is you may not be sure at a glance whether the number they put in them are correct or not. The most important ones are the ones containing zeros. Other ones, let's say they are supposed to be $520 and they are $510. That one you cannot dictate easily. So it may be alongside later on in the course of analysis that somebody can now see that and now probably correct it, but it will not cause more damage as much as the cells containing zeros in them. Okay. Do you see you have not seen it yet?
No, no. If I clicked on the three icons and I click on charts, it just shows me charts to and then the box to send, nothing again. So I don't know,
Really?
maybe it's my setting or I don't know, but that's just all I see.
That's
Chart.
strange because in the meeting
Hmm.
chart, just as you see on it here, this meeting chart contains. Let me put it here again.
Is anybody saying it? Maybe it's mine.
Let me see. Yes, Taiwo, are you seeing it? .co.uk. Hello, Taiwo. Send this. Yeah, same link. So I just sent it again now. Did anything pop up on your phone as if a message just dropped? Yes. Abiodun, can you see anything on the chat box?
Nothing. The
Okay,
other
no,
thing to respond, if they are saying it, so I would know maybe it's mine.
yeah, no problem. So I can put that I can get that across to you. So Abiodun, can you see anything in the chat box? Because he also dropped a message on his chat box. Hello? Do you have anything on the chat box? Yes, somebody else is typing on the chat box. So inside that same chat box, this link. So why is it not appearing? Is it that it's not appearing at you people's hand? Somebody is also saying it's not in the chat box. Okay, I'll drop it on the platform, or it's even already on the platform anyways. Let me check. I'll drop it on the platform right now so you can see and follow it on the platform. Okay. www.talentbasket.co.uk/WAAF. Okay, I just drop it on the platform now so you can pick it there. Yeah, is there any other question? In the absence of no other question, we can um, draw the curtain for today's session. Question?
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next class.